Hear me? Hello, happy Monday. How are you? And how was your weekend? Did you have a good one? Did you relax? Did you have some me time? I had a lovely weekend, and today my son has gone back to school finally after months of homeschooling. I'm really excited for him, and I'm really, really excited for me. It just feels like there's so much time available all of a sudden. So, I mean, I love him to pieces, and I'm definitely going to miss him. But I do think that the teachers that are at school are much better equipped than I am at homeschooling. So yay for me, my son's back at school. Okay, so today I just thought I'd check in with you guys. I've got some questions that need to be answered. So there have been a few people who've been asking some questions around productivity and procrastination and time management, and also my 10-week live group coaching program, which is called the Intentional Life Strategy for Success. And so here are some questions that people have asked, and I'm just going to go through those questions and those answers. But if you have any other questions that are coming up for you, anything that you'd like to know around life strategy, time management, productivity, how to maximize your time, about the program, just let me know in the comments and I will be able to answer them for you right here, right now. And if you're watching on a replay, add your questions as well, and then I'll be able to answer them for you a bit later. Okay, so let's get right to it. The first question that a lot of people ask, and a lot of people battle with this, is procrastination. So the first question is, how do I overcome procrastination? Now, the first thing to realize about procrastination is that it can also be disguised as many different things. So even though you may not think that you're procrastinating a lot, you may actually be focusing on a less important task when you should be focusing on a more important task. That's also procrastination. And procrastination on average, so studies have shown that people procrastinate on average, so this isn't even the worst of the lot, on average, 218 minutes a day. 218 minutes a day. That's a lot. So if we want to just save a little bit of time in our day, if we want to gain more time in our day, then maybe we need to look at where are we procrastinating? Because if we could just so the one thing to also remember is that everybody procrastinates, everybody, even productivity experts. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to minimize that procrastination so that you can get more done with that time. We don't want to be losing or wasting 218 minutes every single day. So if we could just improve that by, if we can just do a quarter of that procrastination time that we can regain, that's about 60 minutes a day. That's an hour a day. If we could regain just an hour a day, we can play that forward. That means that you're regaining 364 hours every single year. And that equates to 15 days. Now that's just improving your productivity by a quarter, by 25%. If you can do that, you'll regain 15 days. And I'm going to ask you, how much is 15 days worth to you? How much is that worth to you? What would you spend on that time that you have available? So let's talk about procrastination. So there's often three reasons why we procrastinate. So the first is that we're either fearful of something, fearful of change, fearful of failure, fearful of what someone else may think. And what we have to do is quite difficult, or, there's a risk involved and we don't really want to do it. The second reason is that we're confused about where to start. So we don't actually know how to start this next step. We maybe haven't done it before. And then the third reason is that we are oh gosh, I've just gone blank, is that we think that the task, or we really don't like doing the task. We don't like doing the thing. It's kind of like me and cleaning the oven. I don't really like doing that task, but it has to be done, right? So it's about identifying. So the first step, if you suffer from procrastination, which we all do, is to really just create awareness around what it is that you're procrastinating on, and then identify why. Why do you think you're procrastinating on that specific task? Is it because of fear? Is it because you're not sure how to start? Or is it because you don't really like that thing? So then some of the things that you can try are productivity strategies, and I speak about productivity strategies a lot, and there's some really great ones like the 5-second rule and the 5-minute rule, doing something for just 5 minutes. I use that a lot for cleaning specifically. The things that I don't enjoy doing, I do the 5-minute rule. So there's lots of strategies and tactics that you can use, but the best solution to overcome procrastination and not overcome procrastination altogether, because like I said, we're all going to procrastinate, but to really reduce that procrastination to a point where it's fine. And that is to get clear on your vision and your goals. Because if you have a really, really crystal clear vision for your future and really crystal clear goals, or one big goal, then the task that's at hand is not going to seem so daunting. And you can remind yourself why you have to do that thing. And an example that I give you is, for instance, if you need to do Facebook Lives, if you have to go out and do Facebook Lives and it's a bit daunting and fearful and you're not sure what people might think, well, you're going to say to yourself, my vision is to have my own business so that I can have a flexible life and I can go on more holidays and I can spend time with more family. That's my vision for myself. Therefore, me going on Facebook Lives is necessary, and it's the reason why I'm doing it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the bravery, I'm going to build up the courage, because this is what I want for my life. Another example is if you're not sure where to start, you're more motivated to go and ask someone for help if you know that this is an important task, an important step for you in order to create the vision and the goals that you want for your life. So the solution isn't just strategies, because strategies will get you so far. But if you really get crystal clear on your vision and your goals, and you remind yourself, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. This is why I have to do this really tough, uncomfortable thing. This is the reason why. You are more inclined to then do it because you have purpose and because there's meaning behind it. So that is the real solution to procrastination. The real long-term and sustainable solution to procrastination. Get clear on your vision and your goals. There you go. So the next question that I have been asked is, why do I need a life strategy? So as you know, that I speak a lot about productivity and enhancing performance, and also about creating a strategy for your life. So take control of your life. Not just about the strategies and the tactics that you can do on a day-to-day basis, but it's about the broader vision of your life. And I really just say the reason to have a life strategy is simply because if you don't have a plan for yourself, then someone else's plan is going to take preference over yours. Someone else is going to put their influence onto you, your family or your children or your boss or your colleagues or social media, advertising. They're all going to put their plan onto you. You are going to then be influenced by what they want and not by what you want. So it's incredibly important to define what it is that you want and have that life strategy that you're working towards, because then you can pick and choose and say, okay, this is the opportunity that's going to fit with my vision, but this is not an opportunity that will fit with my vision. we often spend a lot of time and we waste a lot of time and money. We waste a lot of time and money because we haven't defined what we want. Because other people are going to tell us what we want, and then we think, oh yeah, that's what I want. So then we spend the money or we spend the time doing the thing, and it's actually not going to bring us the meaning and the purpose that we're looking for. So if you don't want to waste money or waste time, then it's really imperative to create a life strategy for yourself. And personally, I hate waste, which is probably why I am really passionate about this subject, because it allows me to make decisions faster. It allows me to make more right decisions, and it allows me to pivot and change really quickly because I'm not I know the opportunities that are important to me. I know the things that are going to deliver the results that I'm looking for. So let me just take a sip of water. My throat's feeling a bit dry. If you're watching today, let me know that you're watching and give me a comment. It would be nice to say hi. So if you feel like you're coasting along, or if you feel like you're on a bit of a hamster wheel, or if you feel like you're incredibly frustrated with life in general, so you feel these feelings of frustration or awkwardness, or just like something isn't right, then maybe it's time to start to get really clear on what you want, on your vision and your goals. And then you will create more control. You'll take back control of your life, because that's essentially what it's about, right? We've got to be 100% in control of our lives. We've got to take 100% ownership of our lives. So question number 3 is, how does the Intentional Life Strategy Program for Success work? The Intentional Life Strategy for Success group coaching program. How does it actually work? So some people have asked a few questions about how it works. How does this 10-week online group coaching work? So I'll go into just, the hardcore details. It's a 10-week program. There are 8 modules. So there are 8 live coaching calls. They're about 1 hour each, just depending. 8 1-hour coaching calls spread out over 10 weeks. So there's only 1 call a week, and with a couple of weeks in between as a break. And during those sessions, we go through some concepts, some processes, and then from there, you've got some homework that you'll do. But the thing with the homework is that it's really interesting, because it's looking at you, looking at what you want, looking at some of the things that you value, uncovering some interesting insights about yourself. So it makes it really interesting work. It's not something that's boring or very theoretical. And the exercises are really practical, and it is fun and exciting. And because it's working with a lot of women at the same time, a lot of like-minded women, you kind of get into this group spirit and of positivity, and just feeling a lot more excited about life in general. So once we've gone through all of the modules, so there's various modules covering various different things like your purpose, your values, your priorities, your vision in all areas of your life, your goals, and then also we map out your action plans. We create a solid action plan for your goals. So I'll take you through a really awesome process on how to map that out. And then we also look at creating an ideal daily routine. So how is this going to fit? How is this goal and the things that you want to do in your life, how's it going to fit into your day? And we maximize all of those things. And then we also look at more advanced productivity tactics and also mindset strategies. But what we do is we look at the strategies and the tactics that are the most important to you. So which are the ones that you're going to move forward with? Because you can't do all of it. You can't use all of the things. So which are the ones that you're going to move forward with and use in your day-to-day life to help you achieve your goals and your vision for the future? So it's really a holistic strategy covering all the areas of your life, some of the things that you may not have thought about for a while. And maybe it is time to start thinking about those things. So that's essentially how the program works. And if you have any other question about how it works, just let me know. Hey, Tam, I'm glad you're watching. Are you having a break? Have you closed yourself in your door? I know that Tam often has to close herself in a door and lock herself away so that her team don't find her. So the next question that someone has asked me is, what is my favorite productivity tactic? So this is a really tough question for me, and it's just a really tough question for me because I use quite a few in different parts of my life, but I think the one that I use most often and most religiously, I'm the most disciplined about it, with using it, is time blocking. So I will make sure that I've created or time blocked my day every single day. So I know exactly what I'm doing every single hour, and I'm very protective over that time. And the reason why I love time blocking is it also helps me to become hyper aware around where I'm spending my time. So if I can see the hours that I have available to me, I'll be able to block out what I'm working on, and then I'll be able to assess and say, okay, are these things the most important things that I need to do today? Are these the ones that I need to really, really, really get done today? Are these the ones that are aligned to my vision and my goals? And it just allows me to visually see that. And also what I love about it too is that it stops me from procrastinating, because if I've only got an hour to do something, I will get it done. I better get it done because that's all the time that I have. And it also stops me from being a perfectionist, because I have a tendency to want to perfect and get things right before I move out with it, which is great. I do definitely love quality, but sometimes we've just got to get things 80% right, and then we've got to go. And it's better to just go forward, make a couple of mistakes, and then you can correct as you go along. So that's my favorite productivity tactic. What is yours? Let me know in the comments. It would be great to know what your favorite productivity tactic is too. So let's see what else. Let's see this week. Okay, so Tam is saying that this week she has the luxury of a week of annual leave to study for her MBA, so no hiding necessary. Good job. Cool. Okay, so I have someone on LinkedIn watching. He's John. Thanks for watching, John. Time blocking is effective, but what if it's meant to be a creative time and the most important task for the day, yet the brain just does not feel inspired to create, but maybe better for research, even if that's not what the time block is for? There's quite a bit more to that question, so let's just see what that is. Would you switch it around? Absolutely, I would switch it around. So it's also important to be flexible. You've got to be flexible in your day. If that time block which you've created for yourself isn't working because of energy or motivation or that creative influence, that creative spark that you need, then definitely switch it around. There is some really interesting information about creativity, and what they've found is that the best time for creativity, there's actually two best times for creativity. The first one is first thing in the morning, when your prefrontal cortex is alive and it's the most awake, maybe after coffee. So the most important time for creativity is first thing in the morning. And, even before you start work, maybe it's even, as you wake up, have a cup of coffee and to do some quick idea generation while you're still in your PJs or something like that. And then the second best time for creativity is actually based on you, and it's based on what you know of yourself. So some people have great creativity sessions when they're in the afternoon or the early evening, and others prefer the first thing in the morning. So it's about understanding what is best for you, and then you can plan going forward in your time block sessions that you're going to have a 10 a.m. in the morning is your creativity slot, or whatever that time is that you've discovered for yourself. So let me know if that answers your question, John. And someone said here, glad to hear flexibility is acceptable. Swapping around. Yes, absolutely. We have to be flexible. I mean, this is our life, right? And flexibility is also about creativity. We have to be flexible. I'm not somebody who says, who's like a rule master and you've got to stick to things A, B, C. You've also got to base it on yourself and your energy. Sometimes I just don't I'm not feeling the energy. I'm not feeling the creativity to do the writing. So I'll step back and I'll go for a run. And very often on my run, I have really great ideas. I generate some amazing ideas. So it's about identifying for yourself, when is the best time for you to use certain blocks. I know for me, early morning is best for creativity. Late afternoon, I do admin stuff or plan the next day, things that I don't have to think too hard about. And then John says, thank you, Therese. Cool. Awesome. Glad that answered your question. So yeah, think about what it is for you, and then create your time block around those things. So then the next question is actually not a question. It is a statement that I hear very often. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a free 5-day training on productivity and mindset strategies, on how to get it all done. And I sent it out to many people, and lots of people signed up for it, which was phenomenal. But I had a lot of people coming back to me saying, "Oh, I just don't have time for this right now." And I thought that was really funny. And a lot of people actually commented on it themselves, where they said, "I know it's a bit ironic that I'm saying this, but I just don't have time for this right now." And so here's my answer to that is, when will there be time? And I'm not saying that my course was the thing that you need to do. It may not be the right time for some people. They may have productivity done, and they may have done, created life strategies or etc., created a strategy for themselves and focusing on the right things. That may be where they're at. But whenever anybody says something like this, I don't have time for it. Well, ask yourself, when will there be time? And, if you're saying to yourself, I don't have time to exercise, well, when will there be time? I don't have time to start a business. Well, when will there be time? I don't have time to go after my purpose. I don't have time to do the things that I'm passionate about. I don't have time to spend with my friends and family. I don't have, enough time. If you're saying that about certain things that you really want to do or that are really important to you, then ask yourself, when will there be time? Lara Vanderkam, who is a productivity expert, she has written many productivity books, and she often uses an example where she says, if you were really incredibly busy, where you had no time available to you, and then your geyser burst at home and there was water everywhere, what are you going to do? You're going to make time to go and fix that, because there's no way you can carry on working and say, oh, no, I'll get back to that later when I have time, because I just don't have time for that right now. You will make time. You'll find time to go and fix the problem. And what you'll probably do is you'll cut out the things that are less important, cut out the things that aren't imperative, cut out the things that are nice to haves in your day and not have to haves. You'll, delay some things because they can actually be delayed. The key insight here is that our inboxes are always going to be full. And when we have a time, when we have our days, we will fill our day with stuff, whatever it is. We are going to fill that day with lots of stuff because we're going to create more and more things for ourselves. But you've got to take back control of your time and focus on the activities that are most important. Focus on those activities that are most important. You do have time. You do have time for what's important. You've just got to make the time. And the problem is that we don't have enough. The problem is not that we don't have enough time. The problem is that we've forgotten about what's more important. We've actually forgotten the priorities in our lives. And that's where we need to be working on. We need to be saying, okay, what is the priority for my life? What do I want to fill my days with? What do I want to work towards? What are the activities that I need to do in order to achieve my vision and goals? So there's actually two activities that we should be focusing on. There's two types of activities that we should be focusing on every single day. Only two. The first one is to ask yourself, what are the activities that are aligned to my vision and goals? And I'm going to focus on those. And then the second one is, and also if you're in a company and you've got to do certain projects, or you've got to work on a certain project in order to earn a salary, that is still part of your vision and goals. If you want to grow and to become the CEO, because you've got to do that work in order to get to that point, or even if you want to start your own business, you may have to still stay in the company that you're in and do the work that you're doing, so that in your spare time you can also work on a business, or build up a cash fund so that you can start a business. So think of it in that way. It's not just about saying, okay, my vision is to have a bar in Bali, and therefore all I'm going to focus on is researching about how to get a bar in Bali, and that's all. Those are all the activities. I'm not saying that. Think about the other activities that are related to achieving that vision and goal. So what are the activities that are aligned to your vision, your future vision, and your goals? And then the second type of activity to focus on is time multipliers. So what activities are going to help me create more time in the future? What are the things that I can do now, whether that's outsourcing or delegating, or skills, learning skills, or focusing more on you and your development? What are those things that you need to be including in your day, which will create more time for you in the future? Because the scary thing is, a lot of people can make more money, but nobody can make more time. And time multipliers are effectively going to help you make more time just by making things easier in the future, by outsourcing it or giving it to somebody else. And the great thing is that the Intentional Life Strategy for Success group coaching program is a time multiplier. If you spend that time creating your life strategy for yourself, after 10 weeks, you'll be able to understand exactly what it is that you need to focus on and let go of all the things that aren't important, that's wasting your time or wasting your money. There you go. Those are the 5 questions that I've had over the course of a couple of weeks. There have been variations of these questions. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm happy to answer them for you. And it was great to have you watching. And I'll see you again on Wednesday, because I do a Wednesday live, and I'll see you again on Wednesday. Let me know if there's any specific topic you'd like me to chat about, and I will see you then. Have an amazing day, everyone, and bye for now.